Hey, I'm Brian Gray, and welcome to this 15-minute lower back tune-up. So I often deal with achy low back stuff, so these are a couple little things that I like to do pretty regularly for some low back maintenance. So the things you're gonna need are a belt and maybe some blocks. If you don't have a fancy yoga belt, no worries, you can use a strap or a towel, anything that'll work for you. If you don't have blocks, you can use something that can bring the floor to you if you can't reach the floor, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the back. So have your belt close by and go ahead and relax yourself on down. Take your feet flat and your knees up. And adjust your feet so they're about as wide as your yoga mat. And let your thighs come toward one another and maybe rest together. You can take the hands wherever it's comfortable. I like to take a hand on the belly and the hand on the heart center. And we'll just take a quick moment here of just a little check-in. I like to do this at the beginning of most of my practices just to notice where you're at right now physically. So take the mind's eye and a quick mental scan through the body, starting at the top of the head and just passing down through the face, through the sides of the neck, across the upper back and chest, down into the ribs and belly, and down to the low back. If you're feeling tight down there, just give yourself a little bit of props for taking time to take care of yourself. Good, and after checking in physically, how you doing mentally? Oftentimes when I have chronic low back tension, it can get a little frustrating, and taking time to just release some of that frustration with some breathing is always a good thing. So let's take a couple deep breaths in through the nose. And a nice big open mouth exhale. Good. Let's do one more of those. Inhale deeply. And open mouth release. Good. I'm starting to feel better already. Go ahead and blink the eyes open. Grab your belt and take the belt around the right foot. Take the foot up toward the ceiling. And you'll notice I don't have like a fixed loop in my belt. I'm just using the length of the belt here. And I've got the left side of the belt in the left hand, right side in the right hand. And my arms are relatively straight, just a soft bend in the elbows. And extend your left leg out along the floor. And depending on how flexible you are, you might get the leg straight up toward the ceiling, you might get it closer to you, or it might be a little further away from you. That's okay. I just want the leg to be straight. All right? So flex the ankle of the right foot, spread through your toes, and reach through both heels actively. Ground the shoulder blades down into the floor and get a little lift to the chest. Good. And here's a really nice little nuance I like for low back. As you encourage the foot more toward the back of your sticky mat, toward your face, bring your attention to your thigh bone and encourage the thigh bone toward the front of your mat. So the leg is kind of moving in opposite directions. You're not going to move very much, but if you just create that little bit of focus, you'll probably feel it. Take a big breath in there. And then nice and easy, take both sides of the belt into your right hand. Open the leg out to the right, bend the right elbow and rest the back of the upper arm on the floor, kind of like a kickstand. Then take your left hand to your left hip and keep the left hip fixed in place so it doesn't start to pop up away from the floor on you. Nice opening to the inseam with the right leg. Take a breath there. And then go ahead and soften the knee, come back to center. Switch hands with the belt, so the belt's going into the left hand. And now we're gonna do a twist. So rotate all the way over onto your left hip. Take the right foot all the way off to the side and reach the right arm over to the right. And there's a pretty big opening for the outer hip IT band. Nice rotation for the spine. Take a couple breaths in here while you reach actively through the legs. Good. One more smooth inhalation. And then nice and gently bend the knee and come back to center. And nice and easy, switch sides. Take the left leg up, extend the right foot. Ground the shoulder blades down, lift the chest up. Flex the left ankle, spread through the toes, reach through the heels. A couple of breaths here. And once again, as you encourage the foot toward your face, encourage the thigh bone in the opposite direction. Whew. Good. You might get an involuntary little woof noise there. Take another breath, flexing the foot. And then both sides of the belt into the left hand, open the leg out to the left. Right hand on the right hip to keep the hips fixed. And then a couple breaths. Inhale. And softly exhale. Good. Soften the shoulders here. Inhale. And then softly come back to center with the knee. Switch hands with the belt and rotate all the way onto the right hip. Good. And then reach the left hand over to the left. Extend and reach through both legs evenly. Nice big twist here. 2 deep breaths. One more deep inhalation. And then release, come back to center. Set your belt off to the side. Grab the shins and get just a nice little rock side to side with hugging the knees in toward the chest. Good. And then go ahead and rock yourself on up to a seat. Lovely. So that's a series I like to do pretty often in either the beginning of my practice or the end of my longer classes. So come to a seat and bring your right shin in front of your left shin with your right foot directly in front of your left knee. Okay, so not simple cross legs, but we're going to go actually shins lined up specifically here. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Take a nice big inhale. Lift the arms up, lift the chest, and then hinge forward, reach out in front of you. Grip the floor with your fingertips and pull toward you a little bit. And you'll notice I'm not folding forward and rounding the spine super deep here. I'm just hinging from the hips and coming up to my first little bit of resistance here. So I can fold more deeply, but I'm actively not doing that. Just being really mild and easy on the low back. So pulling the floor with my fingers, keeping the chest lifted, and then get a gentle drift side to side with the chest. Good. And with this gentle rock side to side, closing the eyes can feel good. Taking a couple deep breaths all the way down into the belly. One more inhalation. And then nice and easy, go ahead and sit yourself all the way up. Just lean back and switch. Left shin in front of right shin. Left foot is directly in front of the right knee. Really be specific about that. Inhale, reach up. And then hinge forward. Grab and pull the floor toward you a little bit. And a little side to side drift with the chest. Smooth the deep breaths. Feel the breath spread all the way down into the belly. Maybe you feel the back body open up a little bit. 2 more breaths here. Good. Last big inhalation. And then sit yourself all the way up. Go ahead and uncross the legs. Come onto all fours briefly. And then tuck the toes. Shift the hips up and back into a bent knee, downward facing dog. And so particularly if the low back is feeling tight and achy, doing down dog with bent knees really helps take things out of the lower back, take it out of the equation a little bit. And if you want a little bit more stretch here, just gently pedal out the legs. alternatingly bending and straightening. And you can turn the hips and ribs into that a little bit. Could take one more breath with that bicycling, slight rotation of the hips. And then go ahead and step your right foot forward between your hands and bring your back knee down to the floor. And here's where blocks can come in handy if you are tighter. Okay? You can bring the floor up to you. If not, you can keep the fingertips in contact with the floor. And don't round the spine here, but once again, spine nice and elongated. We want to keep the natural curve here. And then inhale. And as you exhale, straighten the right leg, send the hips back, a little bit of a half split stretch. Then inhale, come forward into a lunge. Exhale, shift back, straighten the front leg. One more time, inhale, come forward, and exhale, shift back. And then come forward nice and easy. And then let's just do a little rotation. Bring the right hand to the right knee, and then turn the ribs to the right. Good. Maybe take the gaze up toward the ceiling here. Press down through the top of your back foot. Take a nice big breath. And then softly release your twist. And step back first to a tabletop, and then your bent knee, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths, once again, to cycle through the legs. One more inhalation there, keeping the neck nice and soft. And then step the left foot forward between the hands. The right knee comes down. And then once again, inhale, chest forward, sink the hips. Exhale, shift back, straighten the front leg. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift back. One more. You're good. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, shift back, flex the foot, spread the toes. Then come forward into your lunge. Left hand on the left knee for support. Turn the ribs and chest to the left. Soft shoulder blades. Take a nice inhale as you press down through the top of the right foot. And then exhale, release to center. Step the left knee back by the right knee. Bring the toes together to touch, separate the knees a little bit wider, and set the hips down on the heels for child's pose. Walk the hands forward and bring the forehead down to the floor. Good. Just a nice big breath in here. And then walk the hands over to the left. So we add a little bit of a side body stretch. Place the right hand on top of the left hand, and then release the forehead down toward the floor. If you get to the floor, great. If you don't, that's okay. Press down into the right hand. Press down with the right hand into the left hand. Draw back through the right hip. Take a breath into your side ribs. And then we'll do the other side. Step the hands over to the right, left hand on the right hand, and press down. Release the head down. Good. Ooh, this side's tighter. Take a breath. And then go ahead and come all the way back to center. Go ahead and come onto all fours to round out here. We'll just do a little cat-cow. Go ahead and hands under shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, go ahead and lower the belly, lift the gaze up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, go ahead and tuck the pelvis, tuck the chin, round the spine. Good. A couple more of those. Inhale, raise the gaze, lower the belly, arch the back. And then round and press into the floor with your hands as you exhale. Good. Two more. Inhale, gaze up, belly down. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Last time, go ahead and lower the belly, raise the gaze. And exhale, come to a rounded spine. And then nice and easy, a flat back. Lovely. Go ahead and come to a seat. So that's what I have for you, a little bit of low back health. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Thanks.